coming.
I think you can go ahead and start, Dave.
Great. Welcome, everyone, to this ACM workshop. This is the fourth training session out of 5, so next week will be the final one in this series. And a special person here with us today is Japie Swanepoel. He'll be talking about social media, how to market our organizations and build engagement. So that is the topic today. It's good to have the group with us. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dave Hotchkiss. I'm on the board of ACM, Association Christian Media. Of course, you know that, and Natalie on also here. And this session will be an hour, more or less, and then half an hour for questions. So as you get your, as questions arise, you can put it on the chat. At the bottom of your Zoom, there's a little thing that says chat. If you open that, you can type your question in. If you don't do that, there'll also be opportunity to put your question at the end of the session. A little bit more about Japie Swanepoel. He's the founder of Interactive Concepts. It's an online strategy company based in Cape Town, and also of Digital for Christ, an initiative that was set up to guide Christian organizations to use the internet more effectively. He's hosted workshops in Zimbabwe, Namibia, Kenya, all across South Africa, and has authored and co-authored 5 books on e-marketing. We were just chatting, it was a couple of years ago, 3 years ago? I can't remember. Japie was here in KZN before the COVID disrupted things, and did a workshop locally here that was very inspiring and kind of left us wanting to find out more. Of course, in the last few years, social media has just, grown and taken off. So there's, I guess, a whole lot more to talk about and a whole lot more in the technology. So welcome to those that have just joined us. As I say, type your questions into chat. And I'm going to hand over now to Japie. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, it's great to be here and be here and be there and be everywhere. And it's Phil Cook, I think, that said a while ago that for the first time ever, the church is actually producing more media than Hollywood. Because at the time, if you think a year ago, all the Hollywood studios were shut. They couldn't make movies. They couldn't do anything. But every church started streaming and started putting out videos and everything. So the church actually produced more media than Hollywood, which is fantastic. And it just shows you that these mediums can work. And if you apply it correctly, that can make a big difference to your ministry, your organization, your NGO, whatever it is. I must be honest, when I get asked to do a social media presentation in an hour, I find it exceptionally challenging, because usually the workshops I present take 2 days. Okay, so there's a lot to be said. And even picking out just one specific topic, which I want to focus on today, engagement itself, I can't do true justice to it in 1 hour. But let's get stuck in and look at what the most important aspects are of engagement. Before I start that, I just want to say there's so many aspects surrounding the whole social media. For me, the key starting point is to have a strategy. What is it that I want to achieve? Why am I there? Am I there because the guys across the road are there? Because everyone else says I must do it? Or what is my reasoning for having my organization on social media? And once you have the strategy, then you start working on a content calendar and a plan to determine what type of content you're going to post, how often, where, and understanding that Facebook is not the same as Instagram and LinkedIn is not the same as Twitter. So when I see organizations, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all have exactly the same post, the same image, the same articles, then it's clear to me they do not understand that each platform has its own place. So all of those things need to really be thought through when you start going onto social media and getting your organization to be active there. Yet, having said all of that, even if you have a strategy and a plan and you post beautiful content, but no one clicks like, no one shares, no one comments, then you must say to yourself, I am doing something wrong. How can I fix that? And what do I have to do to get people to engage with my content? And that is what we want to spend the next 50 minutes on, is just to say, what is it that you should do to get that engagement? Thank you, Natalie. We can move to the next slide. So I just want to show you a few tips on how to create engagement. But the very first question you're probably asking yourself is, but why is engagement so important? You know, I'm just going to write a nice article. I'm going to post a photo. I'm going to put my video up. I don't really care if you like it or not. You know, why is it so important? So next slide, please. We are going to just quickly run through the factors that make engagement so important. Those two go together, and it's asking you, what do you want to achieve? So you may say, listen, I am already a church, I'm already a radio station, I'm already an NGO, but do you want to create a specific community around your social media? Not just people that like you and follow you for the sake of following you, but do people want to follow you because they want to learn more about specific thing that you're doing? They also support the course that you are managing. Are they interested in learning more about a specific thing? Let's say, for instance, it's a radio station, but you want to create a community of people who want to help reaching out to their society. Then maybe that's why you want to create this little community within your organization. So it's not just, this is what we stand for, and I'm just going to push that out. Just take it or leave it. This is what we push. Maybe you want to create a community within your organization. Next point. One thing that is very important is to create awareness of the things that you are doing. And that is something I think is vital for engagement. I've now learned that although my church may have a very nice website, it takes time for them to update the website. And if I want to know, is the cell group on this Wednesday? Is the meeting on Sunday? I can't even remember. Is it now 50 people or 100 people? Must I book or not book? The first thing I do, I go to Facebook. Oh, yes, the Sunday service is on. Oh, yes, you have to book. Okay, so for quick things like that, to create that type of engagement for people to understand and know, your website is there, but social media makes it much easier. Hey, here's a photo, here's a thing, remember it's happening. News, quick alert. For our church, we've now gone from 50 to 100, but we still want you to book. But there's an overflow room. Those type of things can be shared quickly on social media, and those are the type of things that will create engagement for you. Next point. The messages that you want to send out, okay? People still send out emails, but ask yourself, how often do you read emails? Okay? Sometimes someone has to send me a WhatsApp to say, have you read your email? because people are so used to consuming content on social media platforms rather than the more traditional ones of emails. I made a joke with someone the other day. It took them a minute to catch. I said, please don't send me a fax because I don't have any paper in my fax machine. And it's only afterwards that they realized I was joking, because when last have you sent someone a fax? Do you still know someone who owns a fax machine? It's all social media. It's quick. How can I quickly send you something? So find ways that you can use that to engage with your community. Because remember, once people start engaging, then you have a conversation going. And you can move to the next point, thanks. That social media allows you to have a two-way conversation. So print, TV, radio is very nice. I mean, I could drive out a billboard, look, international evangelist is coming, or look, tune into our radio station, or look, do that. But I can't engage, okay? If you look at the next point, it says that social media is the only platform that allows you to basically have a two-way conversation. So if I put up, we are having a meeting on Wednesday, then someone from my community, my followers, my church members, my listeners can actually, thank you very much, I'm going to be there. Someone else says, I'm also going to be there. What time does it start? Is it still on? Is there parking? Do I need to pay? So in a way, the organization is actually having a conversation. So that is something radio and TV cannot do. It can give you the information, but not many people can call in at the same time, whatever. So even to someone like a radio station, I want to say it's fantastic to actually discuss something on the radio maybe and say, but listen, this discussion is going to continue on our social media platforms. After my show is finished, it's not over. You can continue talking about it on social media and voice your opinion and have something to say there. Thank you, Natalie. So this is really the key point for me to start to launch your engagement with. If I ask you, how are you doing today? I'm expecting an answer from you. I'm okay, thank you. Are you going away on the holiday? Have you registered to vote? Whenever I ask you something, I expect interaction, okay? So my theory with social media is you should not post a photo, a video, an article, or anything like that, unless you have a certain interaction in mind. I'm putting something out, and I'm hoping you people will give me your feedback. Anything basic. You're thinking of starting a different show. You're thinking of starting a third service. You're thinking of starting a Friday morning's breakfast meeting. First thing to do, you should actually put it out to your existing followers and say, hey, we're thinking of starting this. Will you join? Would you be keen? Will you be there? And immediately you're getting that engagement. And that can often help you with planning, because often we just launch something, I wonder why no one came. But you start asking people and they say, yes, okay, well, no, 6 o'clock on a Friday, maybe it's a bit early. Can we make it 6:30? Someone else says, yeah, I did. And if you post your content in such a way that you're expecting a reaction, then you are much more likely to get engagement, rather than saying to someone, good morning, how are you? And before they've had a chance to reply, you've already moved on to the next person. We've all heard that, or had that, experienced that. Thank you, Natalie. All of these things are engagement. So often we expect people to write a big letter and say how fantastic we are and whatever. But if someone just clicks the like button, it means you've got engagement. In my mind, I want as much engagement as possible and as engaging as possible. Okay, so it's very easy just to click like, go down, click like. But I will never click like unless I believe that is something I really like. But if I feel very strong about that point, I will write a comment. That's even worth more as a like. But if I like it and I comment and I think, wow, my friend should know about this, then I click share. So ultimately what we want to do is we want to make sure that people either like share, comment, view our stuff. And you must be very critical about your own stuff that you post on these pages that you manage for your organization. And every week you should sit and you should look at all your posts and say, wow, no one liked that. No one, not even one person commented on that. Why? I thought it was such a beautiful post. Look at this nice little thing we designed. Why did no one comment on it? And that's maybe when you should ask someone else and say, listen, what do you think we did wrong here? Because otherwise, it's like a preacher standing in church and there's not a single person there and it's not streamed. So one guy standing there on his own, he's talking and no one hears it. So you want to put stuff out that people engage with. And it mustn't be fake. It must still be in line with your organization, what you stand for. I'm not going to tell a joke just because I want people to laugh. If it's not applicable to what I stand for and what I believe in, then it doesn't make sense either. And you need to sit and say, we want to create awareness for this campaign. We want to raise some funds. We want to start a new extra service. We want to launch a new campaign. What do we need to do to get people to buy in, to support us? Let's look at who our followers are. They are people that like sport. They like outdoor events. They like supporting. So let us make sure that we generate the content that those people would want to interact with. Thank you, Natalie. So all this is very easy to talk about. Yeah. But the question you should say is, but Japie, how do I actually do it? What do I have to do to get people to interact? So I've been involved in internet for a number of years now, and I came up with my own list. And maybe you want to add to that later. You can give me your comments. And if this is the day presentation, we'll unpack each one in much more detail. But I just want to go through the list of things that I think can help you get more engagement, more people clicking, liking, sharing, comments on your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever. Okay, let's have a look at the first one. The first point for me, it sounds so obvious, okay? But do we actually do it? So let's just give a simple example on Facebook. Okay, it's coming up shortly, local elections. I'm a firm believer that you've got to register, you've got to vote. And I really believe that as Christians and as the church, we have to tell people, you have to make an effort to vote, because then you are helping to have a say in the country. So let's imagine on my Facebook page, I make a nice design with a little election box, and I say, remember, on 18 and 19 September, you have to register to vote, full stop. It's a very nice post. I think it says what I believe, and it says my organization supports that. That's it. But it doesn't call for engagement. I've said my message, but it doesn't call for engagement. How about I change my wording a little bit, put the same image, and I say, have you registered for the upcoming elections? Please tell us. Yes, if you have. Wow. Same content, same message, but now I'm actually asking, and now people say, yes, I have. Oh, sorry, I haven't. Thank you for reminding me. Or I'm doing so tomorrow. I did it online. You understand what I'm saying? A small little question mark at the end makes a standard, I told you so, into a, please tell me what you think about it. And you can do it with every single post, every single event, every single thing you market. Okay, let's say, for instance, I'm thinking now about my church again. And the church says, we can now take 100 people. So they can just do a nice post to say, hey, from this Sunday, we can take 100 people. End of story. Or they can say, from this Sunday, we're taking 100 people. Will you be one of the 100 to come to church on Sunday morning? Immediately, they've turned a statement into a question, and they're asking me, what do I think about it? And the moment they've asked me, I can type in, yes, I will be there. Now, I've turned it into an engaging post, and that's what I want. Can we move to the next point, please? challenge. Okay, this is something, okay, we've all seen the silly challenges, and I'm not asking you to put a raw egg in a shot glass and, I don't know, squeeze lemon in your eyes. I don't know, all those funny challenges. But I can challenge people on social media in such a way that I can generate engagement. Okay. There's an organization called Open Doors, and they have done a lot of virtual runs. I'm a runner during the lockdown, and then you pay an entry fee, and who can run the most stairs in an hour or whatever. And then that money goes towards Bibles for people, that specific campaign in India. So there they say, we are challenging you. Can you do this? You don't actually have to. I'm not even talking about doing the physical challenge, but online, you can immediately say, oh yeah, I think I can do it. Or can you read a book in a month? I can do it. You appeal to people's sense of wanting to compete, and they see that. They say, yeah, no, I can do it. And they type in, because that's what we want. We want engagement, right? We want someone to answer, to respond, to click, to share. And challenge for me in the stuff I've done, even in the corporate world, we challenge you. See if you can do that. Even if you go so far as you create a nice little image. I don't know if you're familiar with that thing called Where's Wally or Where's Waldo, American thing. And it's always these huge pictures with all these little characters, and somewhere you have to find that man. And sometimes you can just do something fun, and you can do something like that and say, hey, we challenge you with this little math sum, or count how many books you see in this picture, whatever. Just something to get people to engage. But if you put a message in there as well, then people are reading the message, they're thinking about it, and they're engaging. Okay, our next point. Talking about elections, nogals, a poll. Sometimes it's just nice to ask people, listen, do you prefer coffee or tea? Okay, do you like blue or green? Okay, maybe you want to make it more practical. You say, hey, when you tune into our radio station, do you do it from your radio? Do you listen via DSTV? Do you listen online on your computer? Or do you listen via our app? Okay, because I know that type of market research is very important. But asking it online as a poll, it's almost not an option. What do you think? It's like, do you like A, B, C, or D? I've been involved in organizations where we decided a sporting event with 10,000 people, and we decided a portion of all the funds we're going to donate to a charity, right? But now we're sitting in the meeting, we're like, oh, what charity are we going to donate this money to? So we came up with a poll, and the poll said, would you like to give money A, to an animal welfare organization, B, to a children's hospital, C, to a school development program, or D, to a feeding scheme? So we don't mention the charities' names, and we put an A, a photo of a doggy, because the animal welfare. B, we put a kid in just a hospital pic, and whatever. Okay, and then people have to answer A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. It's a type of a poll. In the end, you actually use that information. In fact, then with the sporting event, we went back and we saw we had 1,000 people, and about 75% of them said animal welfare. And only afterwards, then we went to the SPCA. So firstly, you gave people the opportunity to participate. But secondly, that information actually helped us to make a decision. So it's not 4 people sitting in a boardroom making a decision. We can always say, no, our followers decided where the money must go, and that's what we've done. Okay, the next point, tag. If you are familiar with this in Facebook and in Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, you may have to just Google it and learn a bit more about how to do it. But when you are referring to another organization, what you really want to do in your post is you want to tag them. Okay, so let's say, for instance, I'm posting on my page. My organization is called Digital for Christ. And on my Facebook page, I'm saying, tomorrow I'm doing an online workshop with Association of Christian Media. I don't just type in their name. I say, tomorrow I'm doing a workshop with, and I type in the @ and then I start typing Association of Christian Media. And then their actual Facebook name will come up, and I click on it. Okay, that means I've tagged them. You can do that on Facebook. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it on Instagram and on LinkedIn. When I've tagged them, the next time the people who manage the Association of Christian Media's Facebook page open their page and say, oh, wow, someone has spoken about us. Okay, what's the likely thing? Next time, they may mention my organization. And that cross-tagging generates extra engagement. And that's what you want. So one of my tricks, let's not call it a trick, one of my tactics is when I'm starting to help an organization who's got very little movement and action on social media, is I quickly start finding the biggest organizations in that industry, and I start following them. And when I see something in the news or something great that they've done, I actually write an article about them. I will say, did you see such and such did this today? Fantastic, well done on them. And they will see that, and sometimes they'll come back and say, hey, thank you. Hey, yes, thank you for giving us a little bit of airtime or acknowledgement. And that engagement does huge things for my Facebook page or Twitter account or Instagram profile, because a big organization has recognized me, and that's now pushing my traffic up. Right, we can move to the next point, please. Acknowledge. Sometimes people just want to know that you've seen them. Okay, so if someone is going to post something, okay, today I listened to that guy's show on the radio, and it was so fantastic. Today I went to church on my own page, and the pastor did a great job. And he posts on your page. Just say, thank you. We appreciate it. Note it. Today, I went there, and you guys, your service at the bookshop was terrible. Thank you. How can we improve it? Just acknowledge. Sometimes people just want to be acknowledged. And when you acknowledge them, they will say, oh, great. And they will click back and link, and they will tell their friends, hey, listen, you talk to those people, they listen to you. Okay, we all know what it's like sitting on the phone to a Telcom or a Vodacom or someone for hours. Please just help me with my problem. And your airtime is just going and going and going. Please just help me. When you can go online and you can type and they can answer you, yes, we will look into your problem. You're like, wow, I mean, I'm dancing in the streets. Look, Vodacom has taken notice of me. Okay. Any of those big organizations, you go through stuff, your medical aid claim or your insurance claim. You post something on social media, and they answer you, they acknowledge you. You're like, wow, how great does that make me feel? So are you applying that tactic of acknowledgement to the people who are on your pages? Okay. I often talk to people about this. They post something. We've just hosted an event. We've just done that. 10, 15, 20 people say it was fantastic. I loved it. Thank you for doing it. Okay. The organization doesn't acknowledge them. You can just go and click the like button next to every comment. Like. Okay. For you, it looks like you're clicking like 10, 20, 30 times. But for me, I just see that one like that you've made to my comment. I said, you guys did a great job. Wow. Yes. Thank you, Japie. Comment or just like. So it's a little bit of extra effort from you, but that is going to get you engagement. And that's what you want. Right. Let's move to the next one. Respond. The worst thing is for me to ask a question about something and no one answers. Okay. If I don't want someone to answer me, I'll be on the phone for hours. But if I see an organization is on social media in my mind, those people understand the principles of social media. They understand. It's not like writing a letter through the mail, a week there, then maybe it gets lost in a week back. If I post something now, are you open on the public holiday? You can't come back to me next week. I may be willing to accept if you come back to me in 2 hours, but actually I want to answer right now. So just think about yourself, how you expect people to respond to you on social media, and then put yourself on the other side and say, as an organization, are we doing the same to our followers? Will you be open on the public holiday? Is that sale still on? When are you going to host that conference? Da-da-da. Please just respond. Say to people, yes, we are there. Set yourself in your organization an internal challenge to say, we will never respond in more than 2 hours. Okay, it's a challenge, okay? But at the same time, be very careful. Sometimes the person who manages the social media is at home. It's 8, 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock at night. You see a question, you think, let me just quickly answer it. And then the person on the other side says, oh, wow, they're working at 10 o'clock. They ask you another question. And tomorrow it's like, why did you not answer my question at 10 o'clock at night? So think carefully about this. I go on the back end of my Facebook where it says about us. I say, we will always respond to you Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. Okay? Or something like that. So people don't get the wrong impression that you are there 24/7. But during normal hours, please be as quick as possible to respond. If you see someone has asked you, are you open? Are you going to be there? Is the service still on? Are you changing anything? Please just respond as quickly as possible, because that will really make people want to engage more with you. And that's what we're ultimately talking about here. We're talking about engagement and how you can get people to engage to the stuff that you are doing on social media. And at the end of the day, you want that engagement, because that is how you're going to build your brand, how you're going to promote your organization, how you're going to get your message out there, how you're going to keep the people who already like your organization and support you to stay with you and not leave or go somewhere else. And for me, mostly, that is also, this is a perfect tool for the gospel to reach people who are out there on their own, alone. Maybe they don't go to a church, maybe they don't have friends, and there they are engaging. They say, wow, someone is actually listening to me, they're talking to me, they're responding to me. All that doesn't have to happen live there. You take it off and you say, thank you very much, give me your phone number and we'll call you. Thank you very much, give me your email address. Thank you very much for inquiry. Click this link to our website and fill in the form. So you don't have to have the conversation there in front of everyone. Oh, thank you, we've heard about your problem, can we do that? No, but just the fact that you're responding shows that you're interested and that you care, but you can carry on with the conversation offline. If it's someone who wants to do business with you, who wants to donate, who wants to partner with you, you can always say, just message us directly and we'll phone you. People are still impressed when you phone them, right? Straight away. Hey, thank you. I've just seen your message on Facebook. I did it the other day. Someone made an inquiry and I called straight away. And the person was overwhelmed. They're like, but I just sent you the message. I said, yeah, so I got it. I'm phoning you. And immediately it puts you at the edge, because already they say, wow, this person really wants to engage with us. Okay, let's move to the next point, please. Reward. People love getting rewarded. Okay, I have little loyalty cards at every coffee shop in my town. I must just hide them from my wife because she thinks I'm spending all the family's money on coffee. But she doesn't drink coffee, so she doesn't understand how important it is to me. But whenever I order my coffee, I take out my card. I say, remember to punch, because number 10 is going to be free. Right. So I love to be rewarded. Are you from time to time rewarding the people on your social media? Either if you're running a competition, but just by the way, okay, I came to visit my sister and I brought her a gift. Okay, I just saw something and I thought she might like it. And she said, but it's not my birthday yet. You're a week early. I said, it's got nothing to do with your birthday. I saw that, and I'm just giving it to you. When last have you rewarded someone on your social media just because they said something nice about you? Not a competition, just a reward. Okay. Let's take an example. Someone says, I listen to your show on the radio and I love it. And you know what? It always inspires me to listen to your show. Okay. Radio show goes, thank you very much. Here's a voucher for a free coffee at our local coffee shop. Just like that. What does it cost you? 30 rands? But it gives such a great feeling to the person who gets it. Number one. But number two, guess what? All the other people who see that think, okay, maybe I should say how I like that radio show. Oh, maybe I should tell them how much I love them. And all of a sudden people are engaging. Okay. I didn't say I'm going to give everyone a coffee, but I just choose from time to time. In my house, when I come and I give my wife or my daughters a gift, and they say, what have I done? I call it a RAK, a random act of kindness. Okay. You didn't do anything specific. Just today, I've decided, man, I know you like those chocolates. There's one for you. Okay. Think of how you can do it online. And you know what? The greatest reward that you can actually give someone online, it's not even something physical. It's just mentioning them. Listen, one of our faithful followers on social media, Jimmy Jones, celebrated his birthday yesterday. And we want to say, Jimmy, congrats, well done. You're one of our favorite followers and we love you. And here's a birthday emoji. That's all. And that to that person, it means a lot. Okay. And other people are saying, wow, look how they're rewarding that. Okay. Personally, I prefer the physical thing where it's possible, a voucher. I worked with some bigger companies in Namibia, and their favorite thing was just to give someone airtime. Wow, I like what you said there. Thank you very much. Here's 50 rands airtime. And they just sent that person a code directly. So just think about things that you can do that will reward your followers in such a way that they want to engage more and say, wow, those guys are nice. If you engage with them, you never know. In fact, I worked with another client and they were a pasta manufacturer. So spaghetti and macaroni and stuff. And we always had packets of that in the office. Okay. We were managing their social media. And every now and then someone would just post their own photo. Hey, last night I made macaroni with these people's pasta and it was so fantastic. And we'll just go there. Oh, thank you very much. Here's a free packet of pasta. Come pick it up at our offices. We didn't even courier. They had to come and pick it up. When that person picks it up, we take a photo, we post it back. More people say, oh, no, I like it. I like it. And it just becomes a rolling thing. So just think in your organization, what can you do? Is it just a pat on the back or is it the actual a voucher for a coffee or airtime or something? Test it and it will work, but let it be in line with your organization. Okay. I mean, if you're a church, I wouldn't want you to give people a 6-pack of beer every time they mention something nicely. Okay. But maybe you give them a voucher for a coffee or for a book or something. Just think that it must be in line with what you're doing. Right. Next one, please. The word is cringe when I see some of the bad quality designs people are putting on their social media. And the design, the way you write the language, the tone, the grammar, the spelling, all of those things are a reflection of your organization. Okay, sure, we're not all English speakers. That's not my first language either. But if I choose to do my social media in English, then I must do it correctly. And if I choose to do designs, I must make sure they are beautiful, that they're the right size. So I see someone taking a poster that they're printing and they say, we've already done the design. Why do another one? Let's just put that on Twitter. And when I look at it on Twitter, the top of the guy's head is cut off, bottom is cut off. I just see the middle. Only when I click on the picture do I see the full thing. And then I realize, this was not designed for Twitter. They took something that was a flyer they were going to hand out on the streets, and they were too lazy to customize it for Twitter, and they just put it up. Every single platform has its own design size. That's very important, okay? If you're not sure, Google it, you'll see it, okay? Design sizes for social media, and they will tell you. Facebook cover pic is one size, a Facebook event is a different size, okay? So that's very important to get the right size. And next, when you post something, try and make it look beautiful, try and make it look appealing. Ask someone else, what do you think about this? Is it appealing? Can it work? And if, like me, you don't know anything about design, but you want to look cool, you just use Canva. Okay. All of us in this room use Canva. Canva.com. Canva.com. It's free. You come there, you say, I want to make an Instagram post. Hundreds of examples. Instagram for an event. Instagram for an invite. Instagram for a party. Instagram for a fundraiser. It's all there. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those designs are in there. The colors are there, and you just drag and drop. You download it and you post it, and you look very cool. So try and experiment with that. You will just look so much better. I want your designs to be so good that people would want to share it. Because remember, the moment I share something from another page and it comes on my personal page, if it's not good looking or not cool, it's also a reflection on me. Sure, Japie, I mean, you shared that thing. It wasn't up to standard, you know, the quality, that's not really what I expect of you normally. No, but it wasn't my design. No, but you shared it. I mean, if someone tells me a bad joke and I tell it, I can't say, no, but it's someone else's joke. But I mean, you telling the joke, it's coming from your mouth. So think about what you can do to make your designs more creative, that people would want to share it. Okay, I see my light is a bit bad. Okay, right. So what can you do to make sure that people would want to share it? Make it more creative. Okay, think about the time and effort you put into the images, and then people would want to share it. Also, people, please be very careful of taking photos from Google that you don't have the right to take. Okay, I used to be big on that. Okay, we're having a sports day, so I'm just going to go to Google and type in family picnic, whatever. And there I see a picture, family picnic, and I download it and I post it. Okay, actually, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, there are plenty of platforms for free photos. I use one, I'll give you that hint. It's called Pixabay, Pixabay, Pixar as in pixelated, Pixabay.com. Thousands and thousands of free designs. Okay, people put the designs up there and it costs you nothing. But you can legally use it because the designer puts it up there because they hope they will get business out of it. Okay, but anything I'm doing. The other day I was helping a estate agency with a design to sell houses, and I just go in there, estate agency, and there's a picture. I download it, but I know I'm using it 100% legally because that person has given me permission to use it, and they design it specifically for free usage. Okay, if you want to be a kind-hearted person, you can also upload some of your own stuff to that site for other people to use. Photos, anything. Okay, so for instance, I want a beach, someone on a beach, and I just type in person on the beach. Okay, and then there's a photo. So I went on a trip, on an overseas trip, to a conference, and I took some nice photos. And the next time I thought, wow, you know what? I'm just going to upload my photos. So my photos are uploaded there. In fact, then I can go to Pixabay and I can see how many people have downloaded my photos. So I feel like I'm taking often, but I've also given. It's not a condition, but I'm just telling you. But I'd be very cautious of just downloading a photo from Google, because the day may come when someone will say to you, that's my photo, but who told you you can use it? I pay up, and I don't ever want to be in that organization, in that situation. So be careful. Right. Our next point. So I can tell you, design beautiful images, do polls, tag people, acknowledge, respond. People are going to love it. It may mean nothing, okay? Because every organization is different. That's why Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, they all have what we call analytics, the last point here. Analysis, you can call it statistics, whatever you want to call it. And I go into the back end of my pages on a weekly basis to see what percentage of people that saw it, clicked on it, liked it, shared it, and commented. And then when I look at it, I can see this is your most popular post and this was your worst one. Guess what I do? I'm just going to do more of the most popular ones. Okay, so I'm always comparing it to telling a joke. But I mean, if I stand in front of an audience and I tell a joke and no one laughs, I tell another joke, everyone laughs. Okay, I must tell more of that one that everyone laughs at. Okay, because that's what my audience wants. Okay, so sometimes you have to put out stuff. Okay, our hours are changing from 8 to 5. We are now going to be open from 8:30 to 4:30. Okay, so sometimes you need to post like that just because it's a fact, people must know about it. But as for the rest, every single thing you post, you must look, are people seeing it? Are they liking it? Are they clicking on it? And if so, why? And if not, why not? Okay, and get over yourself and say, it doesn't really matter what I like. What do the people like on the other side that's still in line with my organization? I'm never going to tell dirty jokes. I'm never going to say anything against the government. I'm never going to slate any political party. I'm never going to talk bad about any genders or any race. I'm never going to say stuff just to get likes and reaction. I'm never going to do that. But if I know that my audience are people between 18 and 25 and they love sport or they love reading, then I must talk about stuff that they love in a way that can get them to comment and like and share. And the easiest thing is after the week, after the month, when you've done 10, 20, 30 posts on Facebook, you go into your analytics, you see that one was liked 100 times, that one was liked 0 times. Let me just do more of that type. Why did they like that one so much? Oh, I asked a question. Oh, I had a funny joke. Oh, I asked people's opinion. Oh, it was something a bit more serious. Seems my audience like more serious stuff. But you don't have to walk with the clipboard like they did in the old days and stop people outside the mall and say, excuse me, sir, did you like that post? Why did you like it? Did you comment? No. You just go in the back and you see it, and it's all there. And it tells you how many people liked, post, comment, and shared. And you say, wow, okay, now I know what to do. The nice thing is to sit with your team and you say, hey, team, what are we going to do next month? How are we going to make sure we get better engagement? Because I'm telling you, I manage a lot of social media pages for quite a few organizations, and I spend a lot of time coming up with a good strategy, then a monthly content calendar, then beautiful designs, posting them at the right time, posting something at 10 o'clock at night. You're not going to get any engagement, okay? Your best time is between 10 and 11 in the morning every day. So that's also important to remember. And I do all of those things. But the only thing that determines whether I've been successful or not is when I go back to the analytics and I see, did people like it? Did they click on it? Did they share it? And if they're not, then it's a big, big, big slap in my face to say, hey, Japie, you thought your stuff was so cool, but the people don't think the same. Go back to the drawing board, go back to the design, go back to your strategy and think, what can you do better to make sure that people engage and they're actually really enjoying and benefiting from the stuff that you're posting? Is it adding value to their lives? The amount of times that maybe you also, go to a friend and say, I saw this fantastic thing on Facebook yesterday. Let me quote it to you. Oh, I didn't know about this event. I was scrolling through Instagram. There's this event. I'm going there. So think about how your stuff, your content is adding value to people's lives and how they want to go out there and tell others and engage. Right. So that is taking a one-day workshop. into just under an hour. I'm not rushing it, but I just thought I must make maybe a little bit of extra time available for questions. And I'm willing to address any of those points more specifically. But I think the best thing is to hear from you what specific issues you are struggling with in terms of engagement, and whether you think you've got extra points to add that maybe all of us, and myself including, can benefit from, on how to get people to engage. Because the worst thing is you sit there week after week and you post beautiful photos and nice quotes and funny video clips, and no one even says thank you. Right, David.
Great, thanks so much, Japie. A lot of practical stuff there. I must say, at your last workshop that I attended a few years ago, I felt as if I was drowning. Maybe I've learned a bit since then, but this made sense. But I'd like to just throw it open to people, anyone who would like to ask a question. Maybe some of these things are working or they're not working for them. Perhaps to share some success stories or some problems that you may have. If you'd like to just unmute and chat to Japie, you can do that.
I just wanted, but while waiting for that, yes, okay, go ahead, go ahead. Yes, hi.
It's Monday from Radio Crazy.
Hi, Monday, how's it?
I'm okay. I'm happy to see you again. I last saw you in Hillcrest. You were running the workshop over social media.
Yeah, it's the same one David was just referring to, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you guys came with a nice vehicle with branding on the side. Am I right?
Yes, yeah, you're correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, at Crazy, I used to design posters for presenters that they post on our social media, Facebook. I always use my templates that I design. Now, it was something new that I should also check for Twitter as well, because the size, the layout is not the same.
Yes.
And then you gave us the website that we should look from. You said it's Canva, C-A-N-V-A.
Yeah. Canva.com,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so there you get all the templates that one can use.
So you get all the templates, and then you don't have to worry about the sizes, because the size is already on there. And I must tell you, I use that thing daily. Yeah. I manage multiples, and it's just fantastic. There is a paid version as well. Okay. And I signed up for that for a month. And then I realized I don't need the paid version. There's so many fantastic things in the free version. But now you can also do presentations in there. So now I even start doing presentations. And last month I had to write a report for someone. And I prepared my presentation in there, slide by slide, like you would do a PowerPoint. And in the end, I converted it to a video. Okay. And then when I send it to my client, okay, they didn't have to press play. They clicked it, and the entire presentation played as a video clip. Yeah. And then I know they'll watch it, because otherwise they may not. So in fact, when I send them the report, I don't tell them it's a report. I say, I sent you a nice video clip. And they open the video clip, and then they've seen the whole report. So it's all in canva.com.
Okay. So now under this section, engagement actions, your fifth point, acknowledge or respond. Our presenters, what they do, they put their poster, and then just the highlight of the show, maybe a topic, or maybe a question, something like that. And then you'll find that our listeners, they respond. But there's always that one person that always posts about maybe she got help from Sangoma or someone who's selling herbs. Now they give testimonies. So it's disturbing now because our presenters, while they're reading the comments, and then you find this testimony comes up. So should we delete that or we just ignore it? How do we stop that? Because always disturb our presenters when they read the comments on air.
Okay, so very good question there. Thank you. So firstly, remember, it is your platform. Okay, so no one else should be allowed to hijack it. Okay, so you have the right to ignore, delete at all times. Okay, so my standard rule is if you say anything with a swear word, if you say anything bad about a gender, about women, if you say anything about a race, I delete immediately. I don't even think about it. Okay, that's just my rule. Delete, delete, delete. I don't care. Come back. It's my platform. It's like if you come into my house and you smoke, I say, sorry, but not in my house. Okay, so keep remembering it's your platform. You make the rules. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if you're always going to be deleting something that you don't like, people are going to think, oh, you're scared. Oh, so you can't take a bit of pressure. Oh, you can't take a bit of it. So that's on the extreme. Okay, but if someone has a legitimate comment, listen, today your presenter said that happened in 1852, but he's wrong. It happened in 1952. If it's really true, you don't want to delete that. You want to acknowledge that person, say, hey, thank you, we made a mistake. Thank you for pointing it out. Wow, you are a very sharp cookie. Okay, that you want to do. In between, the stuff now where like, do I delete it or don't I delete it? But you really have to think of the benefit of the bulk of the people. And if that comment is disturbing them and it's disturbing the bulk of the conversation, delete it. Okay? You can even be so bold as to say physically on the radio, listen, guys, when I get comments of that nature, I'm telling you now already, I'm going to delete it. So please, don't waste your time. We're going to do that. So, yeah, does that help? Yeah, does it help? Okay, okay.
All right, thank you.
But don't mention my name, please, in case they come looking for me.
Thanks, Japie. I think that's a challenge always, particularly with the religion thing that, you know, this is a Christian platform and other people want to use it to promote another, another ideology.
But the moment that someone says, I'm doing this, here's my number, I delete it immediately. That's not allowed at all. I'm just saying no, delete, delete, delete. And guess what I do? If that person does the second time, I block them.
Right.
I block them. They can never come back to my page. I don't care. I don't care because that's not why that page is there for. And the first time I'll delete you, which shows you, I'm telling you in a nice way, don't do it again. If you do it again, I just click block and you can never comment on my page again. Go try it somewhere else.
Yeah, you know, but I think one, as you said, you need to then assess if this is somebody who's struggling with these issues, to focus on it, bring some teaching. But it's always a difficult thing on radio. You don't want to criticize. You want to produce you know, the true alternative, or the truth, rather than be sidetracked with the alternative. Yeah. Then there's a question here from Jack, Radio Pulpit. Challenge, looking at your rewards suggestion there, it's not easy to give rewards online. You know, how do you suggest we do that? You've got a lot of followers on Facebook. How do you decide who to reward and how best to reward them?
Okay, now that's a good question. And I mean, also if you think about it, I mean, some of those organizations I spoke about, the Pasta People, and there was another company making Millimeal, Millipup. I mean, they have 30, 40,000 followers. So you don't have to reward everyone all the time. You decide who you want to reward. Of course, if it's a competition, you say there's a prize, but this is different, okay? This is just rewarding someone. So, and also, I mean, you say a coffee shop voucher, but I mean, you know, you live in Pretoria, but we in Durban, but there's no coffee shop like that in Cape Town. I understand that can be difficult. You can do specific online rewards like an ebook. Okay, so maybe this is something that you don't just think of what you have already. Maybe you've got to create something. Maybe you say, listen, once a month, we're going to reward someone for a nice comment and we'll send them an ebook. Okay, because if they're online, we know they have access to the internet if they're on Facebook. Okay, find a place where you can get an ebook. Okay, another thing you can do is you can give people a voucher code for an online shop. Okay, and say, listen, we are supporting that Christian bookstore. I don't know, just throw it out there, Scripture Union Books. Okay, and once a month, we're going to give someone a code for 100 Rand off on a book. Okay, it doesn't have to be the whole book. Okay, and then once a month you say, hey guys, we value your comments. We want you to tell us what you like about Radio Pulpit. Tell us about the things. And once a month, we're going to reward someone with a book voucher. And you do that. And you team up with someone like that who says, no, yeah, we've got the facility where you can type in the voucher and you get a discount. But then it's not a case of just thinking we might do something when we feel like it, but then you make it part of your strategy. Once a month, we're going to reward a nice comment with a voucher. And then you put it in place. And I promise you, you'll start seeing how people are commenting more and more, hoping that they could get that voucher. Okay? I'm not saying we're not bribing people. All I'm saying is we're motivating people to say, hey, listen, just tell us what you think. And there may be something in it for you. I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you're serious about it, and we can always talk later, and we can email, but I can help you. You can come up with a plan and say, what is easy for us to facilitate? What is it worth to us? Is 100, 200, 500, 1,000 Rand a month worth to us to get that input? Because if that can make our programs and programming better, why would we not want it? And you know what? I was always those guys, if people call me for a survey, I say, no, I'm not interested. But during the lockdown, when I couldn't go out, if they called me, I said, sure, ask me the questions. What do you want to know? No, do you ever shop there? Do you ever do this? Do you ever do this? And I just answered it, just to help them. But if that guy was to say to me, hey, and at the end of the conversation, I'm going to give you 10% off, or I'm going to give you a voucher, I'm like, yeah, man, ask your questions. So we're not asking a long survey. We're just saying, hey, when you're on our page, tell us what you thought about the show this morning, and once a month, we're going to reward someone. I don't know, Jack, if that helps.
Yeah, he says, thank you, Japie. I've answered, and now you have stimulated more ideas around it since we have 225 viewers.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's also given me more ideas as well. You know, we can spend so much money on doing surveys, but using your polls and particularly, you can find out so much, and it costs you just about nothing. And you know, if you can give a reward, give some rewards away while you're about it, it's worth it.
And on that question of the surveys also, remember, you don't have to ask me. Let's say, for instance, you want to find out more about your listeners, right? The normal stuff, okay? What gender, how old, what town do they live in, what language do they speak, what is their level of income, whatever. You don't have to ask all 10 questions at the same time. That's what really often irritates people. Now I've got to spend time on this. You can ask just one question. Hey, today we want to know, what town do you live in? People will post that because they want to brag about their town. But they don't realize that you're actually checking out. Tomorrow you'll post, hey guys, if you're between 18 and 35, type in 1. If you're between 35 and 45, type in 2. Fun thing. I'm like, okay, by the end of the week, you've surveyed the people that don't even realize you've surveyed them, and you're getting engagement. Why would I not want to post my town? Why would I be scared to type in 1 if I'm between this age and that age? And at the end of the week, you've surveyed people. It costs you nothing. Sure, someone has to work through it, but it's genuine and it's there, and no one was asked 10 questions at the same time.
Yeah, you can even do that with the type of music people like. It gives you
all of that. But make it easy for yourself. rather than saying, what type of music do you like? And someone is going to type in, you know, Afro, underground, acid jazz. It's like, whoa, just categorize it. Say country, gospel, rock. Make it easy for them, A, B, or C. Otherwise, you're going to go off the rails. And then you go like, you know, deep house. Oh, man, what is that? You know? So, and that for me also helps with a little image. Okay, nice. There we go on Canva. And we get a thing. And we have an image there, a jazz image. I don't know. I'm just simplifying it. But there's a saxophone, there's a guitar that you just say, choose A, B, C, or D. Da, 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 da. Or E if you feel it's not there at all. But at least you're getting people you're getting answers in a certain direction.
Correct. Yeah, Japie, this is very practical, helpful. There's a comment here from Sally at Gateway Radio. Thanks so much for an informative session. Simply put, but highly educational. So
right.
That's appreciated. Anyone else like to throw your question in? There's a lot here.
I just want to say, if while you're thinking about that, is the beauty of this is the cost to you to experiment is null. Okay, and you're not gonna know unless you start playing with it. Okay, let's post this today. One thing that we in the industry talk about often when we send out emails is called A/B split testing. Okay, so if you're really serious about this, you can do something as basic as the following. You do a post about a topic and you make the background color pink. Monday, you do the same thing again and you do the background color blue. And you see. Did people like the pink one more? Did they like the blue one more? You don't have to ask there. You don't have to type, do you like pink or do you like blue? Just by virtue of the clicks and the likes and the comments and the shares, you will realize, I don't know so many people like pink. And that's how you roll. And every time you learn that, you make a note and you get better and better and better at it. So the cost to you is it's null. It's just sitting down, putting some time and effort into planning. And if you can, and if you have the opportunity to talk to others, get others involved as well. And say, hey guys, what do you think about us putting this up? Because if it's on your own, you always think, I always think my posts are the best, you know? And I show it to my kids and they're like, no, Dad, you can never say that. How can you put that on? I'm like, but no, Dad, people don't like that on Instagram anymore. Oh, yes, if you fail, ask a child. They will let you know.
Yeah. Japie, just in terms of organizations that are seeking to use social media for engagement, you talked about your weekly review, your monthly review. Can you just talk us a little bit more sort of the optimum? Okay, I suppose there are different sizes of organizations, but how many people should be involved in working through the social media strategy? Is it usually just one person with other inputs, or do you have what is the most successful way of doing it?
So there's a couple of components to this. The firstly is to have a strategy. Okay, so the strategy for me really is something that can see you through for at least a year. More than a year, I'll be a bit cautious because we didn't know we're going to have COVID. We didn't know we're going to live on Zoom. So things change. So don't say, I've got my strategy for the next 5 years. So your social media strategy is something that needs to be worked out. And usually that's someone that has a little bit of understanding about this. Okay. So often in our case, I would be the one personally in consultation with a client organization, develop a strategy, send it on. And now you've got the strategy that guides you as to what you want to do. From that, you need to build a content calendar. What are we going to post, when, and where? So on Monday mornings, we're going to put a motivational message on Facebook. On Tuesday afternoons, we're going to do a news article on Twitter. On Wednesdays, we're going to post a photo of the week on Instagram. Those things need to be worked out. Then someone actually needs to do the post. Okay, so the content calendar is one thing. It can be designed by someone that has an understanding of what's going on in the organization. Then someone else has to physically do it. Go to Canva, talk to a designer. If you have a designer, design it. Write the text. Make sure there's no spelling error. Make sure you've tagged the right people and click post. Okay. Then that same person usually is also the community manager. They're the ones that have to be on the page. If someone says, hey, listen, are you open on Sunday? Yes, we are, from 8 to 5. Sorry, not this Sunday. It's a public holiday. So someone needs to do that. And then the last phase is the analytics. Okay, let's look at the end of the month. What we posted, who liked it, why did they like it, where do they live, can we do more the same? That's really the whole story. Now, in most small organizations, it's one person who does all of that. Okay. If you don't have a team of people that can help you, my suggestion is that as often as possible and as far as possible, talk to others around you. If it's the accountant, I don't care. If the bookkeeper, if it's your wife or husband, to say, honey, I'm about to post this. Would you read that? Would you click on it? What do you think about it? Okay. If I show the stuff to my wife, who's not into social media at all, she's a nutritionist and she wants people to eat better. Sometimes she says, no, man, you can't say that. And I thought it was such a cool idea. Okay. And that brings you back. It's like, but listen, it's not about you. It's about your audience. Because I could potentially be your audience, she will say to me, the way you've written that, it's not doing anything for me. So really try and get people. Also, if you have a friend that's in another industry, and especially us that are in the non-profit industry, okay, try and get a friend who's working for a company where it's all about making money and say, what do you guys post on social media? Okay, I want to spread the gospel. I'm not going to say click buy the gospel here, okay, but what is the principles? Get people interested. Show that you care. Show them that you have a solution, okay? Baked beans might be your solution for breakfast. Jesus is your solution for life, okay? So let's not try and be too far removed from reality and say, how can I package that to get people interested, excited, want to contact, please help me, I want to learn more. And often I feel if you look at the business world, it can give you nice insights that you can apply if you're in a non-profit or not necessarily a profit-making organization.
Very helpful, thank you. Any other questions coming? You want to put it on chat or just unmute, and I can see that you're ready to talk to us.
Is that a hadida or a seagull?
That's a hadida. This is KZN, sorry.
No, we have them as well, man. We have them as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think we need to be wrapping up. But Japie, this has been very practical, and I've certainly learned a lot. And I want to thank you for what you've taught us. The video of the session will be posted in a few days' time, so that we can look at it again. And then in a week's time, we're going to have the final session on these online training workshops. Val Governor, Focus on the Family, will be talking about social media. How does your organization use it effectively? So we're going to have, a view and, some more input on using social media effectively within our organizations. But this has just been so helpful. Thank you, Japie.
Great stuff. Thank you. If I may just say, if anyone has a question, they can email me. Really, it's not about money. Just email me, and if I can answer it, I'll gladly answer it. Just Japie at digitalforchrist.co.za. Digital and then the number 4 Christ.co.za. Sometimes a day later you just think about something, and I get that from organizations all the time. I'm just stuck here. How do I do that? How do I do that? And most of the time, there's someone in your organization who's already capable, who just needs a little bit of direction, who can do the stuff. You don't really need to come to a company, but you must just get the basics right.
Great. And yeah, if you can't remember that email address, send it through to natalie@acm.org.za, and she can forward it to Japie and perhaps copy the rest of us who are on the session as well. Thank you so much. And I think we can wrap it up. I don't know if there's reactions. You can kind of put a reaction in there, thumbs up, clap, whatever you like. And I think that that will wrap it up for today. Natalie, anything else to add?
No, that's all. Thank you very much, Japie. And we look forward to seeing most of you back again next week for our next one. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.